Hey everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Now today's video I'm going to show you how to take the sunflower coaster that we made a few days ago and turn it into a square. And you can use this granny square to make a blanket, a bag, a purse, whatever you want to. You could even make table runners and placemats. Now this measures about 10 by 10 inches to give you an idea of the size of the square, and it's really quite easy to turn this sunflower or daisy into this lovely square. Now you can find the pattern for the coaster. I'll put a link right up there. And then you'll also find that pattern down in the notes under the video, along with the square. They'll both be there for you. Let's talk about the yarn that you're going to need. Now this square is made out of acrylic yarn. The gold, of course, is that Vanna's Choice that I used before. And then I Love This yarn and Red Heart Super Saver in white. So they're all acrylic medium number 4 yarns. And if you're using these and you're just making coasters, cotton is fine too. Or if you want to make your squares in cotton or whatever yarn that you have, as long as it's a medium number 4, will work. I'm going to again use this medium number 4 Vanna's Choice, and I'm going to be using the white because we're going to make one like this. And I'm going to be using this daisy. I'm going to be adding the green in where I have the white on this one. All right? So it's going to look a little different just to give you some different ideas for colors. And of course, you can make it in any colors that you want to. We're going to be stitching with the H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You'll need your needle and you'll need a pair of scissors. Now we're going to begin with the coaster that we made on the other video, and so you need to click that link I told you about in order to get the pattern for the daisy or the sunflower or whatever color flower you want to make. And you need the completed coaster to make the square. Now we're going to take our third color and we're going to join it to one of the petals. It doesn't matter which one. And up here where we did our chain 3 in between our 2 triple stitches, you're going to put your hook right in there, grab your new color, and I'm using this nice bright green. We're going to chain 3. We're going to place 2 more double crochets in that same spot. 1 and 2. We're going to chain 2 and then stitch 3 more double crochets right in that same spot. And this is going to create our first corner. We'll go ahead and chain 2. And so our first corner has 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets because our chain 3 counted as our first double crochet. We chain 2, and now we're going to place 3 double crochets in that same spot on the next petal. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll chain 2 and repeat that on 2 more petals. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, whoops, popped right out of there, didn't I? There we go. 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. So what we've done is we've made the first corner, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets, chain 2, using those next 3 petals. Chain 2, and now we're going to stitch another corner. And so we'll stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and we need 3, so we need to stitch 3. So here's my third one. chain 2, and then we'll stitch 3 double crochets for our next corner. And chain 2. So now we have our next corner. And then we'll use our next 3 petals to make those 3 double crochet clusters. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the top of the next petal, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the top of the next petal, 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. So now we have another corner and 3 sets of 3 double crochets with chain 2s in between. And you're going to repeat this corner and 3 sets 2 more times, and then we'll join back to our chain 3. So I have completed those 2 additional sides. So we have 4 corners, and each side has 3 sets of the 3 double crochets with chain 2s in between. Now it might look a little wonky right now. Don't panic. As we put the next rows on, it will square out. All right, so here's my last chain 2. I'm going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch. I'm going to slip stitch in those next 2 double crochets, then slip stitch in the chain 2 space, and go ahead and make a little chain 1. All right, and that's just so we can cut that yarn, and we're going to bring in our next color, which is our color 1 that we did the center of our square, or the center of our flower. All right, so we're going to bring in our new color and chain 3, and the chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. And so we're going to do the corner exactly the same. It's going to be 3 double crochets, so our chain 3 counted as our first, and so we'll stitch 2 more, chain 2, and 3 double crochets right in that same corner. And you'll notice I am stitching over my tails of yarn where we join together, and that's just going to make it easier to weave in later. So I'll put those to the back and chain 2. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 2 spaces, and we're going to place 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2 in each of those chain 2 spaces. Now I'm changing colors on all of these rows. If you want to keep it the same color, you certainly can. I just liked it with lots of colors. Chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. So now we're going to have 4 corners of 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, and then we'll have chain 2 and 4 sets of the 3 double crochets with the chain 2s in between. And that brings us to the next corner. And the next corner we'll stitch 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And chain 2. And now we're just going to repeat on this side what we did over here. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and chain 2, and we'll repeat this across. Chain 2 and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. And I think you can already see that it's starting to form that square just a little bit better. And so what we're going to do is on these two sides, we're going to repeat what we did here. We'll do the corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, then chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and repeat and join back to our chain 3. I have completed those last two sides. We have 4 corners, and each side has 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 3 double crochets with chain 2s in between. We're going to join to that chain 3, and then we'll slip stitch in those 2 double crochets. Whoops, there we go. And then slip stitch in the corner. All right, now I'm going to cut the yellow off, and we're going to bring in the white. And this is the color that we used for the petals of the flower. Now again, these are the colors that I have chose. If you want to use different colors, or you want to make this particular section solid, you can do whatever colors that you prefer. All right, now for row 7, we're going to repeat what we did for row 6. The only difference is we're going to have more groups on the side because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our chain 2 spaces on the side. All right, so I changed to my white. I'm going to change 3, stitch 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2 because I'm going to do my corner first, and stitch those 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So there's my first corner. I'm going to chain 2, and now I'm going to place 3 double crochets in each of those chain 2 spaces with a chain 2 and repeat. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and chain 2 all the way across. One more. 1, 2, 3, and chain 2. And so now we have our corner and our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of 3 double crochets with our chain 2s in between. And we'll go ahead and repeat that. Corner, side, corner, side, corner, side, and join back to the chain 3 up here. So I've completed this row. You have 4 corners of 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of 3 double crochets with chain 2s in between. Now, after this row, we're going to put the trim on. If you want your square to be even bigger, you can continue to repeat this row, and you'll have 1 more set of 3 double crochet, chain 2 on each side as you increase each row. I'm making the 10-inch square, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, and I'm going to add back in my green color, which is my color 3. And I'm only going to chain 1. And that's because we're going to do a solid row of single crochet around the edge. So in this corner, in that chain 2 space, we're going to stitch 1 single crochet. Now we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. And again, I'm stitching over my tails of yarn. I'll go ahead and move those out of the way now. We're going to stitch 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, then 1 single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. And we'll repeat this across. 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, 1 single crochet in each of those 3 double crochets, and repeat across. Here's my last chain 2 space. Then I'll stitch 1 single crochet in those 3 double crochets that are right here in the corner. And then we'll stitch 2 single crochets in the corner, 1 and 2. And that's going to help our square keep its shape. And so now we'll repeat this, working all the way around all 4 sides, 1 single crochet in each of the double crochets, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, working all the way around, and we'll join back over here where we started. I've completed my single crochet all the way around. Here's where we started. I stitched that second single crochet. I'm going to join with a slip stitch and tie off. Now I want it to have a nice neat finish, so I'm going to go in the next stitch and pull that loop to the back and tie off to the back. Now when you're changing colors a lot, you are going to have quite a few pieces of string to weave in, and so you want to grab your needle, and I've already weaved in most of mine, thread it on there and just weave it in. And when you change colors a lot, you want to make sure you stay within your color, because if you were to show up here, you'd have like a gold on the white or white on the gold. So you want to make sure you keep that nice and neat. Go one way, then the other, and then back for a nice neat appearance of your square. And the reason I like to add that single crochet edge is if I wanted to make this into a pillow or a purse or a scarf or something, I have this edge that I can use for joining my squares together. So here are both the squares. Here is the sunflower that I did in the brown, the gold, and the white, and then the daisy that is the gold, the white, and this bright green. And you can see that you get really different looks by using different colors of yarn. And you can make so many fun things with this particular pattern. You could make these in bright purples and pinks or rainbow colors and do lots of different projects.